Hello there, you're watching Nightline with me, Sabrina Zainal. The top stories. OP Global 34 to be rearrested under SOSMA. And TikTok account allegedly selling lollipop drugs taken down. Good morning. We begin with this story. A total of 34 individuals detained in connection with the ongoing investigations into Global Ikhwan Services and Business Holdings Sendirian Berhad, GISBH, were rearrested under the Security Offences Special Measures Act, SOSMA, after the remand order expired on Wednesday. This was confirmed by Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussain. Razaruddin stated that the 34 suspects were rearrested under SOSMA based on statements gathered by police during their probe into GISBH. He also mentioned that 127 others who were arrested would be released on bail once the remand periods conclude. The top cop also revealed that investigations indicated the business practices of GISBH were influenced by their interpretation of Aurat Muhammadiyah. Followers of GISBH also exhibited an obsession with and idolization of the company's leadership to the extent that it distorted the true teachings of Islam. He pointed out that the adherents were also indoctrinated to fully accept and believe in the lifestyle promoted by the company, which poses a significant risk to both national security and to the followers who are entirely dependent on their leaders for their welfare. Based on a joint probe by the police with the Inland Revenue Board, LHDN, the company was also found to have never paid its taxes. He added the findings align with investigations conducted under the Income Tax Act. Razaruddin also advised the public to be cautious of certain quarters that are collecting funds under the pretext of helping the children of GISBH members affected by the situation. This is believed to be an attempt to exploit the issue for personal gain. Meanwhile, police believe that GISBH followers are still in the country because they lack the financial means to escape to neighboring countries like Thailand. Razaruddin said this is because their finances were controlled by the group's leaders who were recently arrested and had their accounts frozen. According to Razaruddin, police intelligence and investigations indicate that no GISBH followers have fled to the country's borders. He also said that even if they escape to Thailand, there is nowhere in the neighboring country for them to seek refuge. He also confirmed claims that certain premises, such as laundromats, motels, pharmacies, and restaurants linked to the company in several states, have changed their signage after police raids, and authorities are conducting an investigation into the matter. GISBH has been the focus of a nationwide police crackdown known as OP Global for alleged criminal acts, including claims of cult-like practices, human trafficking, exploitation, as well as sexual and physical abuse of children. Police raids on September 11th at 20 welfare homes in Selangor and Negeri Sembilan, allegedly operated by the company, resulted in the rescue of 402 children. Subsequent screenings of the children showed many of them suffered physical injuries and emotional trauma. During the course of investigations, it was revealed that 13 of the children had also been sodomized. In Selangor, the Shah Alam Magistrates Court has extended the remand order for GISBH Chief Executive Officer as well as 23 other individuals linked to the company until this Saturday. Magistrate Muhammad Rizza Azhar Rizali granted the 4-day remand extension following an application from the police after the previous 7-day remand order ended on Wednesday.
The suspects, aged between 25 and 65, were brought to court separately in police trucks and vans at about 9:20 a.m. under tight police security. Last Thursday, 19 individuals linked to GISBH were arrested during raids at 4 condominium units in Bukit Bintang, Kuala Lumpur. 5 others, including the son of the company's key leader, were apprehended while attempting to cross the border in 2 motorhomes bearing the company's logo in Bukit Kayu Hitam, Kedah on September 18th. The case is being investigated under the Child Act, Communications and Multimedia Act, as well as the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Smuggling of Migrants Act. Meanwhile, a separate magistrates' court rejected the bail applications of 22 individuals, all of whom are local women believed to be GISBH members. Magistrate Muhammad Shafiq Sulaiman denied the bail request under the Criminal Procedure Code. All of the suspects were then taken to the central lockup at Shah Alam District Police Headquarters. Elsewhere in Kelantan, police obtained a 3-day remand order against a father and his 3 sons, who are believed to be members of the GISBH for alleged possession of books banned by authorities. The remand order, which ends on Friday, was obtained at the Kota Baru Magistrates Court on Wednesday morning. Magistrate Ahmad Shafiq Aizat Nazri granted the remand order on the 4 suspects aged between 15 to 45 to assist police in their investigations into the case under the Printing Presses and Publications Act. They were arrested during an operation in Kampong Panji, Kota Baru on Saturday, where police raided 3 homes believed to be residences used by the families of the senior management of GISBH in Kelantan. It was reported that the police also discovered dozens of books related to GISBH buried by the river near the houses, with some of the materials already burnt.
Learn how key policies are shaping Malaysia's future, from rising investments to wage reforms and digital banking. Get insights on Malaysia's fiscal plans and what's ahead in the global economy. Don't miss Money Matters' special discussion with Malaysia's top financial leaders, Second Finance Minister Dato Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan and Bank Negara Governor Dato Sri Abdul Rashid Ghaffur this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has filed a police report regarding a TikTok account believed to be openly selling drug-laced lollipops on the platform. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil stated that he has also instructed the MCMC to raise the matter with the social media provider and will leave it to the authorities to carry out the investigation. According to Fahmi, the account has been taken down and was no longer accessible in Malaysia as of Wednesday morning following action by TikTok. This after users on X, particularly parents and adults, were alerted on Tuesday about a popular Thai lollipop called Candy Fun, believed to contain recreational drugs, being sold openly on TikTok. The individual who exposed the matter said that many people had been deceived and ended up making purchases believing the product to be just regular candy. Packaged in pink wrapping featuring a toothy monster character, the dark brown or purplish lollipop is reportedly gaining popularity among children, youths and partygoers.
Pihak MCMC akan menghubungi pihak TikTok untuk mendapat tahu apakah yang telah membolehkan akaun seperti ini beroperasi untuk satu jumlah yang kita tidak tahu berapa lama, tapi mereka boleh menjual dadah dalam platform TikTok.
Fahmi added that he had also requested the MCMC to widen its investigation to identify other entities involved in similar activities on other social media platforms. Now, the Health Ministry has announced that the Control of Smoking Products for Public Health Act 2024, or Act 852, which includes control on vape products, will come into effect on October 1st. The law aims to ban the sale and purchase of tobacco products, smoking materials, and tobacco substitutes, including vape and any electronic smoking devices, to minors. In a posting on X, Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said Act 852 covers regulations on smoking and tobacco products registration, sale, packaging, labeling, and smoking ban at public places. He added that electronic cigarettes are also included in the rules and provisions, which will be enforced in a week's time. Dr. Zulkifli also said that the gazetting of the Act on February 2nd was part of efforts to curb tobacco use and reduce the dangers associated with smoking, including the use of electronic cigarettes or vapes. He highlighted that the 2023 Global Adult Tobacco Survey for Malaysia indicated a major rise in e-cigarette or vape usage, especially among adults under the age of 50, which is alarming and necessitates decisive action. The Foreign Ministry has urged all Malaysians in Lebanon to make immediate arrangements to leave the country voluntarily. The advisory was issued due to the deteriorating security situation in Lebanon following recent Israeli airstrikes in the country, which have resulted in over 500 fatalities and left over 1,600 injured. In a statement on Wednesday, Wisma Putra said that Malaysia strongly condemns the airstrikes by the Zionist regime as these indiscriminate attacks have displaced thousands and constitute a grave violation of international laws. The ministry also urged the international community to condemn such aggression as it undermines Lebanon's territorial integrity and sovereignty. It added that the unilateral military actions not only worsen regional tensions, but also pose significant risks to neighboring countries and the broader global community. Malaysia also calls on the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, to exercise its charter-mandated responsibility to stop the disproportionate attacks occurring in both Palestine and Lebanon with the primary objective of protecting civilians. Wisma Putra also said that Malaysians should postpone traveling to Lebanon until the situation returns to normal. Those who require consular assistance are urged to contact the Malaysian embassy in Beirut. Earlier, the Zionist regime bombed the mountains north of Beirut on Wednesday as cross-border rocket attacks by both sides increased fears of a full-fledged war in the Middle East. According to the Lebanese Health Ministry, the regime hit more than 100 sites inside Lebanon, extending a 3-day bombing campaign that has killed more than 560 people and injured thousands. Hundreds of thousands of people have fled southern Lebanon to escape the Zionist attacks. However, the strike on Maisra, about 100 kilometers north of the border, fueled fears that the intense assault on southern Lebanon could spread to other parts of the country. Meanwhile, Israel's successful strikes have decimated the top of Hezbollah's chain of command, but Iran's supreme leader, who is one of Hezbollah's key backers, said that the group would survive the death of senior leaders. In the meantime, the UN Security Council, UNSC, is expected to convene in an emergency session on Wednesday to discuss escalating tensions in Lebanon for the second time in a week. The permanent mission of Slovenia announced that the session, requested by France, is set to begin at 6 p.m. local time in New York. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is also expected to deliver the opening remarks, highlighting the urgency of the situation. The emergency meeting comes just days after a prior session on September 20th, which addressed attacks using pager and radio devices for which Israel was held responsible. The international community, in the meantime, remains on high alert as the conflict continues to spread across the region. Thailand kickstarts billion-dollar digital wallet scheme. This and more from the Foreign Front when Nightline returns.
Korang tak nak lari ke?
Kau yang lari, weh! Kau dah fikir habis-habisan ke? Ini tengkok aku ke tengkok kau, eh? Ada plot twist.
Di padang sawana yang luas, siapa yang akan bertahan? Mendominasi rantai makanan di benua Afrika.
They must kill to survive.
Alam yang kembali bangkit menguasai.
After the wildfires.
Saksikan keajaiban alam setiap Rabu dan Khamis 5 petang di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with more news on the foreign front. 2 passengers aboard a United Airlines flight suffered injuries during the plane's descent into San Francisco as the pilot maneuvered to avoid a mid-air collision.
According to Flight Radar 24, the incident last Thursday occurred at 31,000 feet, about 113 kilometers north of San Francisco, which showed a Southwest Airlines flight about 3,000 feet below the United flight and a SkyWest flight about 1,000 feet lower. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, said 1 passenger was seriously injured and another suffered minor injuries after pilots responded to a traffic collision avoidance system resolution advisory. The Boeing 757-200 slowed its descent to account for another aircraft at a lower altitude. The maneuver is said to be a last defense against mid-air collisions. The FAA has opened an investigation into the incident.
The gunman accused of staking out Donald Trump's Florida golf course with a rifle has been charged on Tuesday with the attempted assassination of the former president. The new indictment against 58-year-old Ryan Routh was issued late Tuesday in Miami, Florida, by a grand jury and a panel of citizens with investigative powers. The charge of attempting to assassinate a major presidential candidate carries a potential life sentence upon conviction. Prior to this, he was also charged with assaulting a federal officer and possessing a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. On September 15th, Routh was arrested after Secret Service agents spotted him with a gun near the course where Trump was playing. Now, closer to home, Thailand's government on Wednesday launched the first phase of its flagship $14 billion stimulus handout scheme. Its Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, said this initiative is expected to benefit an estimated 45 million people while also sparking the country's economic activity. She said that the initial phase will see $305 distributed in cash to 14.5 million welfare card holders and disabled people, which is expected to be completed by the end of the month. The Prime Minister noted that the cash will be put into the hands of the citizens, which in turn will create a tornado of spending. She added that there will be more stimulus measures in the future and they will move forward with the digital wallet policy. The distribution of the funds was initially structured through a smartphone app, with the money to be spent in local communities within 6 months. Saleh Al-Shehri leads Al-Ittihad to victory. Sports after this breather.
Kau je dah 100 kg. Aku ni dah 100 kg. 200 kg tak payahlah nak terbang-terbang ni. Aku dah cuba lama dah tak naik-naik.
Kenapa kampung kita tiba-tiba kena serang pejana?
Saya tahu macam mana nak selesaikan masalah.
Ini kalau jaring saiz S ni, Maya Karim bolehlah terangkat. Aku lambat lagi.
Annyeong Cinggu. Masa untuk K-drama. Dear M, Strong Girl Bong Soon, Descendants of the Sun. Layan drama Korea pilihan anda setiap Isnin hingga Khamis 11 malam dan ulangannya Jumaat dan Sabtu 5.30 petang di Tramsarang TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton. Memang debak lah.
We're back with sports football, the Saudi Kings Cup. Al Ittihad produced an outstanding performance as they eased past Al Ain 3-0 at home in the round of 32 on Tuesday.
After dominating from the start, Al Ittihad opened the scoring after Saleh El Shehri found the net in the 25th minute. The hosts then doubled their lead 4 minutes later, no thanks to an own goal by Al Ain defender Ziyad Al Rafa'i. In the second half, Al Ain had the chance to pull one back, but they failed to capitalize on the advantage. Saleh El Shehri then put the game to bed after netting in his second from the spot shortly after the hour mark to secure the 3-0 victory for Laurent Blanc's side. In another match, Al Hilal sealed their place in the last 16 after a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Saudi Arabian second-tier side Al Bukhairiyah. The only goal of the match came in the 41st minute when Al Hilal's Marcos Leonardo scored from the spot after Abdullah Al Hamdan was brought down in the box by Ibrahim Al Sunaitan. Al Hilal kept pushing for another goal with Salim Al Dawsari testing keeper Jugas Barkus in the second half, but he could not add to the scoreline. Despite the narrow win, the victory marked an important step for Al Hilal as they aim to retain their King Cup title.
Turning to tennis, the 2024 Japan Open. Hubert Hurkacz of Poland outlasted American Marcos Giron in 3 sets to reach the second round on Wednesday. Competing in Asia for the first time since winning his second ATP Masters 1000 title in Shanghai last year, the 27-year-old, however, had to fight hard before clinching a 6-4, 6-7, 6-4 victory against the American. Hurkacz will next face the winner of the match between Jack Draper and Mattia Bellucci for a place in the quarterfinals. Joining him was Matteo Berrettini. The Italian took only an hour and 30 minutes to clinch a comfortable 6-3, 6-4 win over Botic van de Zandschulp of Netherlands in the first round. Waiting for him in the second round will be the winner of the match between top seed Taylor Fritz and Arthur Fils of France. Man with string of criminal records shot dead. The details when we come back.
Kelakar.
Saya terhibur sangat-sangat.
Ayah masa dekat atas pokok tu, Abang Ropi masa dia tengah feeling-feeling K-pop dia yang yang tak boleh nak terbang tu lah. Dekat betul dengan hati.
Saya paling suka yang part yang diorang berlari tu.
Best lah cerita ni, like je. Jarang dek tengok pontianak yang berat ni dek.
Ada plot twist. Saya bagi 10 bintang.
8 lah, 8. 9 kau sebab Pak Ropi. Yes. 8.5.
Tunggu apa lagi tu? Undian ABPBH 36 dah bermula sehingga 30 September 2024. Undi siapa paling popular di www.abpbh.com.my atau imbas kod QR sekarang. Nak undi pukal? Langgan je banyak-banyak akhbar digital dan naskah fizikal berita harian. Anugerah bintang popular berita harian 36. Teguh kita bersama.
Alah, dah habis? Tak sempat nak tengok.
Drama TV3 Mak? Tengok je lah, tonton.
Telefon nak buat?
Telefon Mak. Mula-mula Mak buka tonton, lepas tu tekan sign up here untuk buat akaun baru. Isi nombor telefon, email dengan password. Masukkan nombor TAC dan siap.
Ya, senang je. Jadi tengok dasar?
Boleh lah. Jadi dah drama Mak tu.
Thanks for staying with us. In Selangor, a man believed to be linked to a string of shop lot break-ins in Damansara was shot dead by police at Kampung Baru Kundang in Rawang on Wednesday. Now, State Police Chief Dato' Hussein Omar Khan said the suspect was gunned down after ramming his vehicle into a police car to evade arrest.
Hussein said that the suspect, a local in his 30s, was spotted driving a Nissan Grand Levina by task force from the Petaling Jaya Police Headquarters while conducting intelligence to trace the suspect along Jalan KBK4 Rawang at around 1:15 a.m. However, the suspect refused to stop his vehicle and rammed it into the unmarked police car and a civilian's car at the scene. Authorities were forced to open fire in self-defense, killing the suspect on the spot. Checks on the suspect's vehicle revealed several burglary tools, including machetes, bolt cutters, metal rods, and an axe. It was also found that the suspect has 26 prior records, with 17 for criminal activities and 9 related to drug offences. He had also been previously detained under the Prevention of Crime Act, POCA. Hussein added that cops were also able to rescue an Indonesian man believed to have been kidnapped by the suspect in Cheras during the operation. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for attempted murder. Police are currently tracking down other individuals believed to be the suspect's accomplices.
In Perak, a man who died in a house fire at Taman Muhibah 2, Setiawan, early Wednesday morning is suspected to have been murdered by his younger brother before the house was set ablaze. The suspect was arrested near the crime scene on the same day and has been remanded for 7 days to assist in the murder investigation.
Manjung Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Hasbullah Abdul Rahman said a witness reported seeing the 39-year-old suspect enter the house and hearing a disturbance in the living room. The suspect then left the house and returned with 2 containers believed to be filled with petrol before the fire broke out. State Fire and Rescue Department Assistant Director of Operations Sabarotzi Nur Ahmad said firemen from the Setiawan and Seri Manjung stations were dispatched to the scene after receiving a distress call at 2:44 a.m. The charred body of the victim, 46-year-old Muhammad Khairul Ridwan Muhammad Taib, was found lying face down in the living room. The victim's remains were sent to the Raja Permaisuri Bainun Hospital for post-mortem. It was also reported that 7 of the victim's family members were able to escape the fire.
A lorry driver linked to the death of social media influencer A. Rajaswari, also known as Isha, was sentenced to 12 months in prison by the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court on Wednesday. 44-year-old B. Satis Kumar had pleaded guilty to posting obscene content against Isha and insulting her mother's modesty 4 months ago. Now, Judge Siti Aminah Ghazali sentenced him to 12 months imprisonment for each charge to run concurrently from the date of his arrest on July 10th. Before sentencing, the father of 3 apologized, acknowledged his wrongdoing, and vowed not to repeat his actions. He was charged with knowingly creating and posting obscene content with the intent to offend others through a TikTok account at 10:12 p.m. on June 30th, which was later viewed at Jalan Ipoh Sentul. Satis Kumar was also slapped with another charge for insulting and outraging the modesty of Rajaswari's mother, 56-year-old P.R. Puspa, using the same account on the same date, time, and location. Rajaswari was found dead in her home on July 5th, a day after she lodged a police report over fears of being raped and killed. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look as French athlete Tom Paget combined motocross and paragliding to produce the world's first ride and fly in the French Alps. With that, I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thank you for watching and stay safe.